I am going to tell you off the top title of my message today, because we are in a series, if you did not know, called BIGGEAPOLIS. BIGGEAPOLIS. And I'm going to preach a message today that's titled, Swing the Bat. Look at somebody next to you and say, swing the bat. If you're here today and you're wondering what type of church is Overflow Church, we're a type of church that's going to swing the bat. We're a type of church that's going to encourage and empower people to, in any sphere of your life, to not just rock up to it, apologize that you're there, shrink back because you're there, or even question why you're there, but to encourage you with the faith and the grace of God to rock up to whatever place God's called you to occupy, and when you get there, swing the bat. And we believe that there's a whole era of Christianity that we can wake up to actually start taking big swings in life, because we serve a big God and we're trying to bring him big glory. And so it's a whole series around BIGGEAPOLIS to try to wake the church back up to realize how big God is. And if we realize how big he is, and there is a responsibility attached to it called playing big, swinging big, and going for it in life. Swing the bat. Are y'all ready to go? Because I feel like swinging this bat right here. I feel like it might catch fire this morning because I feel God. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, this is the Apostle Paul. He says this to the Corinthians. He says, oh, dear Corinthians, let me say it like this. Dear Minnesotans, dear Minneapolis, if we could write you a letter, he says this, I can't tell you how much I long for you to enter this wide open and spacious life. Look at that language. We didn't fence you in. The smallness you feel comes from within you. Your lives aren't small, but you're living them in a small way. I'm speaking as plainly as I can and with great affection. Open up your lives. Live openly. Live expansively. Live big. Live in BIGGEAPOLIS. Because those borders that you feel, Apostle Paul is trying to say, they are not from God, but they might just be from something within you. And so I feel like this message today in this series that we're in is my hope and my aim is to give people biblical precedent to swing big in life. Biblical grounds for when those thoughts and lies from the devil start playing in your ear, to where you have the word of the Lord to stand upon to go and dominate in the sphere and in the space of life God's called you to go into. Are y'all ready to go? Yeah. This past week, I took my little kids to the playground, because all of life starts at the playground. You can tell a lot about someone by their approach to the playground. You can tell a lot about a family by what they do at a playground. You can tell a lot about parents by what they do at a playground. Are they helicoptering? Are they chilling? And this is their, 45 minutes of break. Oh, y'all want to judge me? You can tell a lot about a family dynamics by what they do at a playground. You can tell a lot about kids by what they do at a playground. You ever go to a playground, you see some kids like, oh man, that little one got 4 Red Bulls on the ride there. My guy has like 1 foot upside down on the monkey bars, like he was waiting all week for that shot to take. But then you can see some kids, just a little bit more reserved, a little bit more shy, a little more passive, a little more just like, trying to get the lay of the land of the playground. And there's some wisdom in that, because you don't want to end up, with a broken leg or a broken arm. So I've tried to raise my kids to go, listen, when we get to this playground is for you to dominate. So get to this playground, go ahead and dominate it. Do what you need to do, and be aware that, come with risk. You might have a fall. You might break a leg. There are some things you might want to be wise. You might want to, take a thought, take a second, think about what you're doing, but don't get paralyzed by it. Go ahead and have fun, be a kid, right? And so I was at the park this week with my kids and with the whole fam, and we were there, and I was seeing, we got on the swings. And my oldest son, he's 7, he usually gets on the swing, and he's figured out kind of the pace that he can go at on the swing and then jump off the swing. So he's kind of got it dialed in where he knows, like, I can get this thing probably rocking 60% and then I'm jumping off. But he knows his limits, so he's crushing it. And he'll jump off the swing, land on his feet, and he's healthy and he's good. And even as a dad, every time he takes a swing, I'm like, my retirement package. It's going to the league. Like, oh, Lord help me. You know, like I'm like, oh gosh. But to get to the league, you need to have the confidence to dominate. However, I don't want to, we don't need to break extra ligaments on our path there. So it's just an interesting dynamic. But my other child, Cruz, he's 4, and he's yet to jump off the swing. And so just this past week, we're at the playground, and he's on the swing, and he doesn't warn me at all that he's about to give his first go, jump off the swing. But I'm like, well, go ahead and do you. So all of a sudden I look over, and he's almost catching up to the same speed of his 3-year-old older brother. And he flies off this swing and just aces it, dominates it. First one just jumps off the swing and plants himself, absolutely dominates it. But I'm like, bro, before you go back, can we talk about the next one? Like, we got to make sure we got, I love it, but can we talk about it for a second? We're just having fun at the park, looking at people, having fun. And then sometimes me and my little guys will sit back and we'll just kind of check people out. Like, yo, you see anybody that's alone? Who could we go and help? And just trying to get their mind aware of dynamics at a park. And hey, we look out for people. We look for lonely people. We look for people. You see somebody bullying until they meet you, and then you rock up, and then we have conversations. I got boys, so I'm out here raising men. And, oh, hey, somebody go ahead and say amen. I'll take it. And so we're at the park, and one of the things that we like to do sometimes, like I said, we'll take a step back, and we'll kind of scan the park, and you can usually see there's some kids going wild. But then there's always usually a kid or two, maybe sometimes more of a kid that's just kind of at the park, maybe first time, second time, early in the game. And they're kind of just like seeing the slide or seeing the monkey bars, and they're just kind of like there just staring. Like, I don't know. Should I make a move? Should I not make a move? Like, I don't want to break something. I don't want to hurt myself. And they kind of just get there and they kind of just, froze. Yeah. And you're like, oh, man, you kind of feel for the little kid. But then it's like, all of a sudden, it's like 4 months later, and they're still there at the playground. Like, and eventually you kind of got to give them a push into it. But we were sitting there seeing this kid at the playground, looking at the monkey bars, looking at the slide, just totally overwhelmed, like, oh my gosh. Like everywhere I look, I'm going to make a mistake or I'm going to fall, and I'm just here. And I was like, oh my goodness. In that moment, I was thinking, and this is how God speaks to me as a preacher, so don't judge me. I was sitting there thinking in that moment, you know what this looks like? At times, I believe this is what this actual picture can be of Christianity. Where sometimes we have potentially a small, jaded, disoriented view of who God is. And what happens is when we get to the playground called life, because we think God is some God that's just pie in the sky, angry, mad, and just waiting with the checklist of things that we did not do. So we get to the playground of life, and when we're right wanting to make a move or make a step or go for it in life, we just freeze. And we go, oh my gosh, God's going to be mad at me. God's going to, oh man, if I sin this time again, he is going to pound me. He's going to let me hear it. He's going to let me know I cannot make a mistake. And now we have an entire picture of Christianity from the people on the outside of church. They look inside at something called Christianity, and all they can see is a church of Christians that are sitting here claiming to serve a loving, gracious, kind, huge God. But when they rock up to the moments in their life to swing big, they get froze. Wow. And it's created a picture of Christianity that I believe now has actually infiltrated culture. And people have a belief now, if I want to play big, swing big, and go big, well, I got to go outside of the church. I got to go outside of God. Because God's just going to be the guy at the playground telling me not to climb the monkey bars, not to go down the slide, not to go down backwards head first. Right? God can't be that good. God can't be that amazing. He can't be that creative. Only every idea of a playground came from him. But we carry these beliefs about God. But could it be true, and a better way to say it is, well, it is true, that God is so good, that he is so loving, that in the playground of life that you are playing in right now, God is not sitting there at the playground with the board and a checklist waiting to go, did they do this? Did they not do this? He is not scanning your life waiting for you to mess up or make a mistake. Could it be true? And it is true that God is hovering over your shoulder in life, ready to be there when you fall. He is a God that is sitting there going, go for it, son. Go ahead and climb those monkey bars. Yeah. Go for it, daughter. Go ahead and go down that slide backwards. And guess what? As you go for it, I'm going to be right here waiting for you. I love you so much. I put destiny inside of you. I put divinity inside of you. I put an entire package that was tailor-made for you. So when you go in this playground, go ahead and have fun. Live your life and enjoy this journey of life. And when you need me, I'm going to be here right here waiting for you. You know what this does as Christians? This frees us to live our life. You know why people on the outside don't want what we say we have? It's because at times we can't even give proof. If we say that Jesus came to bring life, but yet we paint a whole gospel of nothing but restriction, nothing but rules, nothing but what not to do and what not mess to get into and what slide not to go down. Now you create a whole theology and a whole biblical framework called religion. And that playground, I tried to tell y'all a couple weeks ago, that playground is the devil's playground. Because his aim, if he can't get you to stop following Jesus, he is just going to get you to disorient and grow a small view and image of who Jesus is. And so this is what he's doing on earth right now. He is roaming. He is searching. He is scanning. He is looking to who can I just throw a little bit of toxic bad theology, toxic small theology, toxic small thinking. Because if the devil, if he can get into your life, here's what he's going to do. Give you one small bad thought that can actually infiltrate your whole belief system. Now he can just go away. See y'all in a couple years. Because now all we have is some super small, limited view of Christianity, and that belief is going to keep playing itself every single day of our life. So check this out. This is what one of the old school authors, one of the best theologians, wrote a bunch of the classic Christian books that we read, and his name is A.W. Tozer. He said a quote I read in college, and I was thinking about it these past couple of weeks as I was praying for this message and this sermon, and it's a heavy quote. This is what he says. A low view of God is the cause of 100 lesser evils, but a person with a high view of God is relieved from 10,000 temporal problems. Say it again. A low view of God is the cause of 100 lesser evils, but a person with a high view of God, a big view of God, is relieved from 10,000 temporal problems. He's trying to say that most of the problems that you might be feeling like you are experiencing in life, going through in life, are directly connected to your view of how big or how small your God is. And so in this series, I am trying to take time and dive into areas of our theology, areas of our Christianity, where we have turned capital G God into a lower G God. And we start actually putting our fears, our insecurities, our worries, our stresses above the solution of who God actually is. BIGGEAPOLIS is about getting a bigger view of God, because your view of God is more connected than you may ever realize to how big or how small you swing the bat in your life. Big view of God, you're going to swing big. Small view of God, you're going to swing small. And life or death hangs in the balance in between, not just for your own soul, but for the people God's called you to reach. And so I want to give you just a quick second to kind of go through something about an image and a view of who Jesus actually is and how he gave permission every single where he went. He gave permission to people to swing big, to swing the bat, and to go for it. In theology, as we take precedent for biblical stories, Jesus, almost all of the time, when people would swing big, he wouldn't even rebuke them. Even if they swung big and messed it up, he would just redirect them. because there was something about swinging big that got the attention of God. And there is something about the character and nature of God that I feel like our generation has got to grow in. We got to grow in this understanding that God ain't playing small. When we talk about people that swung big in the Bible, we got people that took up some stones and knocked a giant down. We got people that took a jawbones something and killed 400 people with it. We got biblical stories of people actually swinging big and taking ground in the kingdom. So this cute, small, fluffy Christianity that we have found ourselves in today, that we have been around in our culture today, called Minneapolis, many. And we are wondering why we are just seeing the state of our Christianity where it is because it's time to stop playing small. You can't keep playing small and wondering why you still feel the way that you do. Can't keep playing small and wonder why you keep feeling like, oh, I just feel frustrated inside. I don't feel connected to God. Because guess what? When you feel connected to God, it's going to be when you're swinging big. Because when you swing small, you don't even need God. Y'all playing, because I'm going to start preaching in a second. Because if you want to swing small, you don't even need God. You can go ahead and swing small on your own. Swinging big puts a demand. God, I'm going to swing so big, I might fall over on this swing. So I'm going to need you to be here with me to help me. Called me preaching every single Sunday morning. Lord, I'm going to need you to show up. But I feel God showing up right now. Check this out. Jesus with the woman with the issue of blood. She presses through the crowd. She risks everything, cuts the whole crowd off, gets in front of Jesus, disrupts his day, interrupts his itinerary, literally comes up to him without permission, without question, and just literally kind of confronts him like, whoa, what's Jesus do? You think he's like, oh my gosh, hit the brakes, which is what oh my God, it's what we do in our church. And I'm talking about, we got room to grow in our church, but I'm talking about in church and Christianity in general. Praying for a revival, but can you just hold on back there for a sec? Come on. She presses through the crowd, risks everything, Jesus' garment, and she receives healing. Guess what Jesus says to her? Daughter, your faith has made you well. He was honored by someone's big swing. Peter stepping out of the boat. Because we want to act like this story's cute too. We want to act like this story's like fun. Like, oh, he was out there and, on the Pacific, about to catch a wave. No, my guy was about to die. He comes out of that boat, risk his whole life. Like, if this step does not work, my guy is 30 feet under. So we act like this story's all cute. Like, oh, he just hopped out on the wave. He's going to ride a wave. Surf, dude. It's like, no, that is actually not what was happening. Jumps out on that wave. Guess what? He swung big and failed. Guess what Jesus does? Oh, Peter, you failure. Oh my gosh, you failure. I can't believe that you tried to walk on water because I said come, so I can't believe you actually came. Oh my gosh, sometimes I like to dive into the word and go, what Bible are we reading? Because what did Jesus do? He reached his hand down and said, son, I love that you swung big and you missed. I got you. Come on up here. That picture right there is the picture of salvation. It's the picture of our faith called we're going to swing big, we're going to miss it, and God's so good, he's going to pull us out of it. Jesus and the woman with perfume. She swings big, sees a sinful woman, breaks an expensive jar of perfume, anoints Jesus, weeps at his feet. Like she broke the bottle of perfume that would have been a ton of money. Interrupted Jesus' dinner. Like this would be like somebody at a, like a top of the line dinner, coming into like to some pastor or preacher or some leader, all of a sudden just rocking in, interrupting the whole dinner, got some, nice perfume and just dumping it all over his feet. You know what we would have done? First off, that lady might not have ever got through. Our bodyguards and people and whatever would have been like, no, she smells like alcohol. You see what she's wearing? And we'd have kept people on the outside, but still praying for a revival. Man. What's Jesus do? Honors her bold, extravagant act of faith and love. All of the big swings that we see in the Bible of Jesus running into people on the streets, because they wasn't in the temple. They were swinging big in the streets, and they would swing big, and Jesus would honor their faith. Because here's the truth. There is a role required for you to play in the vision that God has for you called faith. Write it down. There is a role required for you to play in the vision that God has for your life called faith. Matthew 9, verse 29, it says this. In verse 28, Jesus is talking with some people. You can put it on the screen. And it says this. It said, when he had gone indoors, the blind man came up to Jesus and he asked him, or Jesus asked him, do you believe that I am able to do this? Yes, Lord, they replied. Then he touched their eyes and he said, according to your faith, let it be done to you. Oh my gosh. According to your faith, according to how much you want to swing the bat, let it be done for you. And their sight was restored. Jesus warned them sternly, see that no one knows about this. You know what that word means? According. I was like, according to your faith, according. Well, a cord is something that we measure. A cord is something that has different size to it, right? And here's what that word actually means in the Greek. I don't even know how to say this. Kata. In the Greek, it says kata. Somebody got a theologian here waiting to correct me? Here's what it means. Like a cord, it means measured by, in proportion to, and corresponding to. Meaning that this word according means that faith is sitting there waiting to be activated. But it can only be activated in measure by, in proportion to, or corresponding to your faith. In other words, the outcome aligns in measure with the size of your faith. It's not random. It's in proportion. And see, we have basically, at times, paralyzed ourselves in Christianity with our faith, believing that God's sovereign and he's just going to do what he's going to do. And if he did not introduce something called faith, then that might be true. But when he introduced this thing called faith, what it did was even the playing field. So that the people who struggle with the worst of sins and the people who struggled with the worst of sins. So y'all was still playing. Y'all thought I was going to talk. Y'all thought like there was better sins. I was coming for you. Still working through some of that religious thinking that you still got. You were waiting like, finally, he's going to be like, that's not me. Nah, that's you. Coming for you. It's not random. It's in proportion. Your faith sets the capacity for what you receive. Your faith sets the capacity for what you receive. Are you receiving what you're looking for? Are you swinging for what you're looking for? Because check this out. When we talk about swing the bat, here's the truth. Sometimes we have developed a belief around, well, I tried to pray for somebody to get healed and they didn't, so I'm not praying no more. Okay, name me one other place on earth where we have tried to do something once, could not accomplish it, and then gave us reasonable credibility to write the thing off. You don't even brush your teeth like that. Oh, I brush my teeth. Well, I got a cavity, so I'm not going to stop brushing my teeth. That didn't work. Think about it. Like we do this with nothing else in life except, oh, the devil might be coming after our faith then. He might be working overtime to block our faith from believing what God can do. So anywhere in life, we're not going to hit the ball perfect 10 times out of 10. The people in professional baseball. Talk about swing the bat. In professional baseball, if you can hit that thing 4 out of 10 times, you will probably find yourselves in the Hall of Fame. We're talking about 40%. I should have called this message, swing the bat, 40%. We're talking about 40% being in the Hall of Fame. Where'd you stop swinging in your life? Where have you stopped swinging in your life? Because of disappointment, because of distraction, because of despair, because I know what that feels like. I know what that's like to be in a real situation where you're swinging and you feel like, I can't swing this one anymore. And I just want to preach to you this morning. Grab that bat. Grip that bat. You might not be able to swing it big, but grab it. Hold it. Start picturing yourself swinging it. Talking to somebody in here right now that you feel like this is a cute message, but what happens when you're in the thick of it? What happens when you're in your darkest moment? All hope is gone lost. Disappointment is there. And you feel like I don't even got the energy. I don't even have the energy to swing this bat. What do? I remember when I was fighting through some sickness with Lyme disease, I was like, man, I can't do this. I don't know how I'm going to get through this. I felt like God was like, picture yourself doing it. I'll just sit there with my eyes closed. Man, I don't even feel like getting up and praying right now. I'm just going to picture myself doing it. I don't even feel like stepping out and encouraging somebody else. God, you encourage somebody else? How about can you send 400 people to help me? Picture yourself doing it. Get it in your spirit. Get it in your imagination. Get it in here and start there. So if you're here this morning, you want to throw that bat, you're ready to quit, you're ready to give up, you might not be able to swing, but what you can do is you can just start picturing yourself grabbing that bat, holding on to it, taking slow swings. And then one day you're going to grab that bat and you're just going to give it a little. That's all you need to do. Demons going to start trembling when they see you do that. Because as soon as you start even moving that bat, God has to move. We don't understand our theology. There is one thing that God has put on earth called faith. And when he smells it, oh my God, he has to move. He has subjected himself to faith. What kind of God is this? He could have just built robots that he had complete control over and just said, y'all do whatever I tell you to do, when I tell you to do it, when I feel like you should do it. But he put something in the earth called faith. And whenever he sees faith, he has to move because he saw your faith. He can't see your faith and stay still. He's wooed by it. He's wowed by it. He's turned on by it. This is his thing. This is what he does. It is the whole bridge of our salvation and our Christianity. By grace, through faith. The same faith that saved us is the same faith that's going to get you to your destiny. So when he sees faith, he has to move. So I'm trying to tell you right now, just because you don't see anything moving doesn't mean God's not. Just because you don't see anything moving in your life, you better start praising God for moving on your behalf. Because sometimes when things feel like they're moving farther from you, it's just a setup that God is actually in disguise. He's moving closer towards you. And if you can just get it in your spirit, well, then the demons that have been on your back are going to start retreating. And as they start retreating, I'm trying to tell you right now that things in your life will start to bow to the lordship of Jesus. Just when you feel like nothing's moving, never forget God's still moving. He's still moving. He's still moving. And this is why it is so important to make sure you surround yourself with people who have faith. God, God gets me start preaching about faith, and I don't know how I'm going to get through this, because people want to talk about getting together and praying. See, I shouldn't say some of this stuff as a pastor and as a preacher sometimes. But I made a commitment to go, what's the elephants in the room? We're preaching about the elephants. Why aren't we praying more? Getting in circles and praying. Man, I'm all for praying, but you know what the Bible says? It's the prayer of faith that heals the sick. So sometimes I get around people praying, I'm like, I don't know what y'all even are talking about. We need some faith. You can say that in one sentence. You could have saved 4 hours of your day, honey. Give me one sentence of faith, we can see some mountains move. So I'm not anti-prayer. We need more prayer. Our whole faith is built on prayer. The whole pipeline of Christianity is built on prayer. But prayer without faith might not move nothing but your own mouth. So this is why it's paramount for you to be around people who have faith. Because I'm going to talk about this next week, and I feel like I want to preach about it now, but I can't. Because when it comes to being around people that have faith or do not have faith, you got to be careful. Because if they don't have faith, they will project on you what they won't believe God will do for them. Woo. Oh my God. And all of a sudden you will start to relegate your whole Christianity down to what other people think that you should be believing God for. So people want to talk to me about, hey, you want to hear about what this person said last night? Nope. Hey, did you hear about what was going down? No, I didn't. People try to come to me with stuff. I'm looking, who are you talking to? I got to protect this right here called hearing the voice of God. Oh, the city of Minneapolis is in its worst days. I'm going, hey, was there a sentence? Was there a period at the end of that sentence or a comma? Because if you want to bring a period, you might want to find somebody else to talk to. You want to bring a comma? I got time for the commas. And we're about to see the best days of this city. We're about to see God raise up an army and a movement that's going to preach this gospel to the people who need it the most. Devon, you start playing like that. We are about to see it come quick. Lord help me. Couple things we got to understand about faith, okay? 4 types of faith, and I'm going to go through the stages of faith, and you might find yourself on one of these stages, and I'm just going to paint a picture of where I believe Christians are at right now, and I believe where we are meant to continue to climb and to rise into a higher dimension of faith so that we can see God move in and through our life. Are y'all ready? Here's the first stage of faith that I see in our atmosphere, I see in our generation, and I see in our city that I feel like is right now the ground level of faith, and it is called apathetic faith. Apathetic faith. And here's what apathetic faith does. It just settles. Apathetic faith that settles. It doesn't even swing the bat. It just settles. But check this out. Hebrews 11 verse 6, the Bible says, and without faith, somebody say faith. Faith. And without faith. So it could have said anything else in the Bible. Yeah. But it says this word faith. And without perfection. And without you not sinning. And without your behavior. But we've created belief systems like me just having it together is what's pleasing God. And without faith, it is impossible to please God. Impossible? Meaning there's no other way to please God except faith. What do you believe in God for right now? Without faith, it is impossible to please God because anyone who comes to him must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who diligently and earnestly seek God. So this scripture says, without faith, it is impossible to please God. Which then gives us biblical grounds to go and say this. Without swinging the bat in life, it is impossible to please God. If faith in this sermon, in this analogy, is like a bat, then without swinging the bat in life, it is impossible to please God. Can you imagine going to a baseball game, Twin Stadium, got a hot dog, got popcorn, got a drink, you're there, you're at the game, somebody's like, what kind of drink? Chill. So what type of church are we talking about here? Lord help us. At the game, we're here for the moment. All of a sudden, batter's at the box. He's there. Pitch after pitch after pitch after pitch. Out. Next guy comes up. Pitch after pitch after pitch. Out. Next guy, pitch. And nobody swings the bat. But can you imagine the whole audience just sitting there like not getting frustrated by it? And just clapping like, guys, it's okay. Let him strike out. Look at the clouds right now. They look awesome. Enjoy your hot dog. How does it taste? Let him, he's just settling. We don't need to swing the bat. Honey, it's okay. Just let him strike out. We're good. And 15,000 people around have now created belief systems around, no, you don't need to swing, that's okay. The devil has been hustling the church. He has been finding inroads to come in and creep, to find his footing in the door. To go, if I can just stop them from swinging, guess what? We will swing in the bat. You gotta be careful what I say. Swing in the bat, we can all of a sudden, well, we won't see people get healed. We won't see a move of God from happening. We won't see somebody getting disturbed by the state of darkness and saying, I'm going to do something about it. And so Christianity, we're just, okay. That's okay. That's okay. Church is this church, right? Nobody needs to get healed. Our friends don't need to get saved. We don't need to read our Bible and hear God's voice and actually feel revelation and feel passion and feel joy. No, we're good, guys. Just settle down. You don't need all of that. You don't need the joy of the Lord. You don't need to know what your calling is. You don't need to find peace in whatever God's called you to do. Oh, God. My God. Because I feel like if I was in that stadium, I don't care where God put me in that stadium. If he put me on the top deck, I'm coming out flying onto that field going, I don't care if there's 20,000 people in here. I heard God say that he can move mountains. So y'all are playing. I'll go 1 against 20,000. God's about to do something in this city like we've never seen him do before. God's about to shift something in our nation that we are going to see in the history books. And it's not going to come from us sitting back and settling into some passive, religious, stale, dead, dry, dormant Christianity. It is going to come from some people getting disturbed enough to go saying, y'all crazy. You better go ahead and swing that bat. Because I said this a couple months back, and I believe it to be true, that the only thing worse than to settle spiritually is to spiritualize settling. The only thing worse than to settle spiritually is to spiritualize settling. And I don't know what has gotten in the gates of this city, but there is a spirit on the loose running rampant in this city. And it is not from God. It is straight from hell. And its assignment is to get you to settle in your Christian faith. And its assignment is to get you going, no, I just need to just come over here and I just need to be content and content and content. Okay, cool. You know what the word content, I don't have time. This whole concept of being content was going to be with what God's called you to do. Be content when you see him moving. Be content when you don't. But don't stop swinging that bat. Right. The first command Jesus gives us, and God gives us in all of Scripture, is in Genesis 1, verse 26. And he says, be fruitful and multiply. Meaning he has given us a mandate to multiply anything that he's given us into our life. We see it to be so true that Jesus, when he comes on the scene, his first miracle was to multiply water and turn it into wine. Then he would go by and he would get 12 disciples and then turn them and multiply them into a whole Christian movement. He would find a little boy with 5 loaves and 2 fish and multiply into 5,000. We are meant to multiply what God has given us. And when you get caught not multiplying what God's put in your hand, you will find yourself apathetic. And we have a whole city of Christianity that has been spiritualizing settling as a cover-up for Christians who are really just afraid and living in fear and living in insecurity. And then they start judging others when they go for it and start criticizing others when they go for it. And then watch this, start demonizing others when they go for it. And I believe it is that spirit, hear my words, I believe it is that spirit of religion that has kept the revival from taking place in the city of Minneapolis. It has been a cover-up, a religious cover-up. And Jesus always saw right through the religious cover-up. Oh, y'all want to play church? Y'all want to act like you all got it together? Jesus saw right through it. To the point where he looked at him and says, stop inviting people you know. Go out into the highways and byways. Invite the outsiders. Invite the people nobody wants to touch. Oh, and I want to create a church by God's grace that is for the outsiders. Because there's something that happens to us as insiders that have been saved, that when you just stay around insiders, you lose your faith, you lose your grace, you lose your conviction in your whole purpose of existence. But when you stay connected to the outside, that's when you start to see faith in your life start bubbling up, and vision start coming to life, and purpose start coming to life, and your faith coming back to life. I got to keep it moving. Number 2, apathetic faith. The next level is people get a little bit, okay, I'm gonna stop playing. I'm gonna stop just being apathetic. I'm gonna try to swing, okay? Next level of faith, apologizing faith. Oh yeah, I'm going there. Apologizing faith. Apologizing faith shrinks. Barely swings the bat. It just bunts. But then after it bunts, it says, did I do too much? I'm sorry. Apologizing faith shrinks, barely swings. It's a bunt, but every single thing you do, it's like, did I do too much? And then apologize. But you don't realize that the moment you apologize for your faith, you forfeit your faith. Wow. Come on. So if the spirit of religion is truly what's running in the air, then if they can get you to apologize for what God put on your life, then they can neutralize what God put on your life. And then they can control you. It's a prophetic word from heaven for our city. Because this is what the spirit in the air has been doing. If it can get you to apologize for what God's put in your life, it will get you to forfeit what he's put in your life. And because we've been so afraid, so scared of being misunderstood, I'm going to talk about myself. I want to feel understood, which is a bad recipe for being somebody, a voice of God that he wants to use. So I've had to learn to work through this real quick. Because anytime God gave a prophet a word, most of the whole generation didn't understand it. And I'm not self-proclaiming that that's me. I'm just looking at biblical grounds for when anybody, and God gives us a word, gives us a vision. Apologizing faith. I don't want to offend people. I don't want to ruffle feathers. So I'm going to play the background. Yeah, when God gives you a vision and God gives you an assignment, just settling and just playing the background is not an option. See, this one right here is crazy because it's like Peter denying Jesus out of the fear of other people around him. Or the disciples wanted to send the crowds away instead of feeding them. And there's something that's called this, what is it called? Minnesota nice? Can I talk about it or y'all want me to keep moving? Okay, I just want to make sure. Because I feel like our city actually is waiting for some people to talk about it. Oh, God, help me preach this word. Because what I'm saying is, I do believe that there have been almost moves of God in our city. I believe if you trace back history, look at timestamps of what God was about to do. God was saying, I'm about to do something. But then he sent a man to come in and say, I'm available for it, God. And they took the next step and they went to assert themselves into the move of God until they came up against somebody that didn't understand them. And then they apologized. Gosh, there was about to be a move of God that was going to hit this city, that was going to hit this generation. Oh, God. So, God, he was about to do something. I'm looking for a man who's available. Okay, I found somebody that's available. Here I am, God. Use me. I'm available. Okay, God gives a person a vision. God gives a person a word. They take the next step, and they're there, and they assert themselves into the movement. They assert their faith. They assert with a word of the Lord, and as they start doing it, the gatekeepers and the religious spirit that was in the air didn't like it. They weren't in on it. They didn't understand the ins and outs of it, and so because of the fear of being misunderstood, because of the fear of being demonized and ostracized and getting put on the outside, I apologize. Oh God, generation after generation, God is saying, who will go for me? Who will do this for me? Who will stand up in our city? Who is going to come? And when the word of the Lord comes, who is going to get up there and preach it and say, well, if 1,000 fall on my right side and 10,000 on my left side, I'm going to get this word out because I feel a fire shut up in my bones. And if I don't get this word out, well, then I might as well die, because God put me here to send a message to the city of Minneapolis saying that there's about to be a move of God. There's about to be a move of God. There's about to be a move of God. He is coming. He is coming. Get ready for it. Get ready for it. Tell your neighbors. Tell your city. Tell your workplace. Tell the devil. God is looking to do something that this world has never seen before. He's looking to do something that our city's never seen before. Sit down, sit down. He's about to move. He's about to move. He's about to move. Who's available? Are you available? Are you available? Is your bat available? Will you swing when he says swing? Okay, who's available? Okay, will you assert yourself? Will you assert yourself? Okay, you're here. Swinging the bat, I'm asserting myself. But then I get here and this is where we're at right now. This is where we're at right now. This is where we're at right now. What are you going to do? 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 This is not another time in history. This is not another time in your life. We are at the doorway of an era shift in our city. God's waiting to see who's going to go first. He's waiting to see who's going to be dumb enough, crazy enough, audacious enough to go for it. But throughout generation to generation, this right here has been where the rising and the falling of God's leaders has taken place. The rising and the falling. You don't believe me? Go back and look at King Saul. He was the king over all of Israel. He was God's first choice. Before David and Goliath, before there ever was a David, God had a first choice. Did you know that? He had a first choice named Saul. Saul was taller in stature, probably better looking, had it all together, big dude. He was God's first choice. But yet, he got there, he started declaring what God told him to declare, saying what God told him to say. But then the people, his own people, oh my God, because it always starts within. It always starts within. That's why you got to protect who you let even allowed to talk into your life. Starts within, and then Saul starts hearing the people murmur. He starts hearing the people say stuff about him that's not true. He starts hearing people say stuff about what he's declaring that can't be from God. You're arrogant, prideful. Who are you to? And then we see this verse put up on the screen, 1 Samuel chapter 15. Saul, he said to Samuel, because Samuel the prophet came to him and said, the Lord's rejected you. Now I'm going to choose David. But he says this, I have sinned. I've violated the Lord's command and your instructions. I was afraid of the men, so I gave in to them. Oh God. He was about to be unapologetic. But then he got afraid. There is a realm of fear that God can understand. But then there comes a realm of fear where God might not be as compassionate as you think he is in regards to this realm and category of your life. He says his soul takes no pleasure in those who shrink back in Hebrews 10:35. God was about to do something. He looked for an available man. They asserted themselves, and then they got afraid, and they apologized. And there goes another generation. Missed the move of God. But the truth is that revival does not have to skip a generation. God's always looked for one man, one woman who will go for me, who will stand for me, who will fight for me. And where we're at right now with this apologizing, this is the transition that I feel like we're in right now as a church. To number 3, aggravated faith. Aggravated faith. Aggravated faith shifts the atmosphere. It starts swinging the bat with emotion and passion. Because sometimes faith begins when you get aggravated enough to say, no more shrinking. No more settling. No more small. I've got to move. You get irritated enough at smallness, injustice, people-pleasing, spiritual apathy, and you start moving towards God's promises. Like, listen, okay, I was apathetic, and then I started apologizing for it, but something starts shifting in me where I'm like, man, I'm aggravated now. And guess what? Aggravated faith is what turns into activated faith. So you know why we have Christians on the inactive list right now? Because you stop getting aggravated about the condition of your spirituality and people around you. So aggravated faith turns into activated faith. And now when we get active, we go, man, I'm fed up with this. People just pleasing this religious spirit. We got to do something about this. We got to do something about this. We got to turn the tide. They say that right now in Christianity, 97% of all church growth in America is just transfer growth. Meaning it's just growth from another church. A new church opens up and just people left an old church and came to a new church and stopped reaching new people. That aggravates me. It aggravates me. And there's something about playing it cute and not being aggravated and just thinking everything's pie in the sky and flowers that I'm telling you right now, if you're not feeling God the way you want to feel, you might have to rethink that thing. Because when you get aggravated, you'll start to get activated. You know what aggravates me? It's like, okay. How we are losing our homes. What do I mean by that? So much of the pain, the problems, and the heartache and heartbreak in America right now is because we've lost the home. Men have stopped being men. But there is a coming back right now in a rise of men of God. Yeah, you can go out and make money, cool. Yeah, you can go out and make deals, cool. Yeah, you can go out and provide and do all these things, cool. But can you set the spiritual temperature for your home? And so because men aren't being men, now we got women going, well, I'm going to have to go do it. The whole divine order of the home gets broken, and now we got chaos. You know what aggravates me is nominal Christianity. People that don't actually take the book of Acts seriously, like, man, we can see God do something like we've never seen him do before. Aggravates me, aggravates me. What is aggravating you right now? What is aggravating you right now? Because once you get aggravated, you will get activated. James 2:17 says this, and then I'm about to close. It says, in the same way, faith by itself is not accompanied by action. It's dead. Faith without action is dead. Meaning if you're not aggravated, you're not going to be activated to go do something. And then your faith will be dead. And we got dead churches. Dead sermons. Dead. See, there's a side of Jesus' character that I think we need to be more aware of. He got aggravated. He got aggravated. He got aggravated. He walked into that temple, flipped them tables upside down. He got aggravated. He came, the religious people tried to ask him questions. He didn't even answer them. He ignored them. He was aggravated. Y'all are thinking at a level that don't even make sense. I ain't gonna look at you. He got aggravated. Apostle Paul got aggravated. He got provoked. One of my favorite verses is it said he got annoyed. It's my spiritual precedent for it's okay to be annoyed. My wife laughs at me for that one. We got to get aggravated so that we can get activated. And number 4, so I got to close this thing down. We go from apathetic faith. It's been rolling for the last 3-4 years of our Christianity. We go to then apologizing faith, Minnesota nice, which is going to be something we're going to have to break. Then you get into aggravated faith, where you're going to start getting activated. But when this roar starts coming up, this aggravation starts coming up, people will get uncomfortable with it around you. What you do when that happens determines what God can do next. And once you go through there for aggravated faith, you start getting to something called audacious faith. The type of faith that can make mountains move. The type of faith that can see sick people healed. The type of faith that can see dead people come back to life. The type of faith that can shift the spiritual climate in a city. The type of faith that Jesus said he's coming back to look for. Because there's a scripture, and I don't have time because I'm already over time, which I don't care. I don't apologize. Imagine I just said that like mad. There's a verse that says, when the Son of Man returns, meaning when Jesus comes back one day, gosh, that's why I love the Bible. There's a verse that says, when the Son of Man returns one day, he's looking for faith. Could have said he's looking for anything. He is looking for faith. The question that God is asking is, who is going to believe me? Who's going to believe me for a move of God in this city? Who's going to believe me enough to step into it? Who's going to believe me enough to walk into it? Who's going to believe me enough to play your role? To be secure in your role. To own your role. Can't do everything, but you can do the one thing God's called you to do. Are you giving faith to the one thing God's called you to do? I'm going to close with this. Joe, I need my bat. I can't preach a message called Swing the Bat. I'm bringing Barry Bonds up here with me. It's a nice bat. It's a black bat. I like it. Swing the bat. There's a story. A guy named Babe Ruth. Do you know him? Only one of the most famous baseball players of all time. And in this story of his career, the story of his life, it is a story of one person getting unapologetic to take big swings in their life. Babe Ruth didn't shorten up or play it safe. Even when people said he struck out too much, he was swinging for the fences every single time. He didn't live in our era, so maybe if you haven't seen him, maybe you don't know, but he, by his own life, by his own career, and in his own sphere of what God put him on earth to do, he changed the whole industry. His whole philosophy of baseball was, if I connect with this thing, it's gone. He broke the tradition of Major League Baseball. Before Babe Ruth, baseball was the small ball era. Did y'all know this? Baseball was the small ball era. Bunting, singles, and stealing bases. Then Ruth came in, changed the game by swinging with everything he had. His strikeouts went up, but so did his home runs. He literally rewrote what success looked like. The theatrics of it's hilarious because fans loved it. His swing was so big that sometimes when he missed, he'd spin himself around and he would stumble. But instead of seeing it as a failure, people saw it as evidence of his power and of his intent. And I'm reading off this because here's some results that's very interesting. He led the league in home runs 12 times. He hit 60 home runs in 1927 and basically single-handedly turned baseball into a home run sport. All because he wasn't afraid to swing so hard that it might make him look foolish. Ruth struck out 1,330 times in his career. It's a huge number back then in that era. But he's only remembered for his 714 home runs. He's remembered for his mindset that every strike brings me closer to the next home run. This is what makes him almost a parable in the Bible. Swinging so big that if you fall over, it isn't clumsy. It's evidence that you're not playing small. That the failures are a part of the same story as the legendary impact that changed the game from small ball, Minneapolis, to potentially big ball, BIGGEAPOLIS. And why I tell that story is because one person was willing to look crazy enough, dumb enough to, in front of thousands of people, get up to the plate and swing so hard that if he missed, people would laugh at him. But he had an understanding that every single time I get closer to a strikeout, I get closer to a home run. And he single-handedly transformed the whole game of baseball. He was a game changer. In the vision that God's given me for our church, Overflow Church, and the initial visions that God's given me for this house is to raise up game changers, to give permission for people to go ahead and change the game, to go into the industries, into the spheres of life that God's called you to go into and change the game. And you cannot change the game by swinging small or not swinging at all. You can only change the game by when God puts you in that board meeting, start to speak like he puts you in that board meeting. When God puts you at that behind that coffee, start giving that coffee like God puts you there. When God puts you anywhere in your life, it is to get there and to realize God put me here. So I'm not going to back down. I'm not going to shrink back. I am going to swing big and play big, because my belief for this city is that if you start swinging big and I start swinging big, it's not because of what we can do. But if we will swing big, God could take imperfect, broken, available vessels that barely even know how to swing a baseball bat just to make contact with it, and he can do more than we ever could on our own. And it is my belief and it is my fire that we are going to see a revival in our city, that we are going to see a move of God in our city, that we are going to see God do something this fall and going into the new year that we have yet to see him do before. But God is looking to go, who is going to play it big? Who is going to swing big? When the Son of Man returns, he's looking for faith. And all God needs is a little bit of faith. Just a little bit of faith. And you can see God start to move in your life.